Hello everyone.
Well, that works.
Thank you all for coming today despite the rain. I begin by acknowledging that we're standing on stolen land, the land of the Yagara and Turrbal people. I pay my respects to Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander and First Nations elders, past, present and emerging. We all know that sovereignty of this land was never ceded. It always was, always will be Aboriginal land. In a world where governments hand out billions of dollars in taxpayers' money for weapons manufacturers and industries that produce nuclear reactors, it becomes our responsibility to pick up the pieces of humanity that our governments have undermined. A government that wastes and depletes our natural resources while putting generations to come in endless and unpayable debt is a government that is subscribed to the politics of fear under the pretext of defense, and a government that has lost the most important thing that sustains a democracy, and that is morality. And I believe there is no more evidence to how the major parties of this country have lost their moral compass than watching them in their complicity in the current genocide currently being perpetrated in front of our eyes in Gaza. 6 months of continuous bombing of a defenseless population, half of whom are children who have never tasted freedom, is a test of humanity. And our government, our so-called leaders, have failed this test dismally. While we stand here in our shared humanity to call for a just peace, let's remember that the Palestinian people need our solidarity now more than ever. Palestinians did not need for food parcels or flour bags to be airdropped if it wasn't for the failure and the absence of any serious political intervention or any diplomatic pressure to prevent the genocide that is occurring and unfolding in front of us. They have left an entire nation vulnerable in the face of a powerful army that are using everything to annihilate an entire race. Yet we hear empty words from politicians that think that repeating what we've been hearing from UN officials and international lawyers for months is going to win over the hearts of Australians. Those politicians who have chosen to empower colonial entities that continue the cycle of violence through their lack of action. I have one question for them. Where is the call to action? Where are the sanctions? Why do we still have strong relationships with a genocidal entity, with all of these war crimes and all of these breaches of human rights? No sanctions, no vote. Albanese, you can't hide. Albanese, you can't hide. Albanese, you can't hide. Penny Wong, you can't hide. Penny Wong, you can't hide. Penny Wong, you can't hide. If we've learned anything from history, It is that governments detached from morality cannot be sustained. And this is why we're here today. Because when these governments fall, and they will fall, we will get together once again to pick up the pieces and rebuild this world, restructure the system on the basis of ethics and morality. We are not cynical of politics. We believe that politics lies in us, the people, not the ruling class. We believe in the morality of politics. Each one of us, every single day, through our professions, through our conversations, through our electoral choices, through our resistance to the propaganda that demonizes those of us who care enough to get out and defend human rights and call for equality and just peace for all. What better expression of love can anyone ask better than this? A friend of mine who was a freedom fighter in Latin America reminded me as I was browsing his art collection. He's a painter, and I believe he's here today. He told me all we do, all the resistance, all the protests and the defiance, we do it for love. Friends, comrades, and allies, it is my pleasure to now welcome the Brisbane Combined Unions Choir to perform 2 songs. The choir has been singing since 1988 to raise awareness of social justice issues. Please make them welcome.